What a great birthday win. I will always take that for sure, but super proud of these girls and their effort and fight. Just bringing in an SEC team into the USA, I think, is huge. And Arkansas is going to win a lot of basketball games with Kelsey as their coach. She does a really great job. They're good at what they do, and they don't quit. I thought our kids had to play through some fatigue. I thought that there were multiple times that they, put their foot on the gas and kind of took off, and then we kind of let them sneak back in a little bit here and there. But I never thought we lost control, which was really, really good. I love the parity in our team as far as like the balance with the scoring and whatnot. And even we knew this wouldn't be a high assist game because we knew that we would have to find some mismatches and some isolation situations, so our assists aren't that high, but I still felt like we shared the basketball. I felt like we found the mismatches that we wanted. I felt like people stepped up and just fought hard. I thought you could see the fatigue in our free throw shooting, and some of our shots were a little short in the second half, but the fight was fantastic, and our defense I thought was pretty tough all night long.
For both of y'all, this is probably the first game that y'all have had recently that it's come down to maybe like 10 points within the last 2 minutes. How do you guys felt you did communication-wise with each other and then execution as well?
I think in close games, no matter what the situation is, especially at the end of the games, we need to be more focused. We need to be more locked in. That's the time of the game where we can't have slip-ups. So I thought we did well today, but it's something that we can always improve on.
Yeah, I think our huddles late in the game were really good. Gemma did really well in those by calling plays, and then obviously on defense we were really good at communicating what we were in and just getting stops when we needed them.
Bailey, just what is it like, especially coming from the Panhandle in West Texas? What is it like to see the '93 team get honored like they were today?
It's something so special, and I'm so glad that I'm able to be such a small part of it. Just to be able to play in this game today while they were being honored was something that I'll remember forever. But I'm super happy that their name's finally up there where it belongs.
And Danae, undefeated so far, wins over power conference teams the past couple games. Just where's the confidence level of the team right now?
I would say it's pretty high. Obviously, we're 5-0, so as it should be. But I think it obviously starts in practice. Seeing the ball go in during practice, everyone, was in the gym for the most part, getting extra shots up, and that really helps offensively. And then defensively, I think we've just locked in as a team, and we always have each other's back. So, yeah.
I think this is the first time this year, at least, that we've had y'all both out here together, so humor me on this, but y'all started your careers playing against each other. I remember some pretty spicy matchups. Y'all would banter back and forth, but can y'all talk about how your relationship's grown from there to now being senior captains on this team?
Yeah, obviously when I started my career I was at Iowa State and she was here, but obviously since I've been here we've been really close friends, and it's really honestly so fun playing with her on the court. Way better playing with her than against her, so yeah.
I'd have to say the exact same thing. Me and Danae had our moments, I'm sure, but there's nobody else that I want to walk to the middle of the floor with before the games, and nobody I want to play next to for our last year. So I'm really happy that we both ended up here.
And Danae, Coach Gerlich's talked about wanting you to tap into your ability to drive more. We saw that today. We've seen it this summer. Can you just talk about that growth in your game this year?
Yeah, I think obviously as I've been here for a few years in the Big 12, I've became a shooter, so it's been really good this offseason to work on getting to the rim more, and I think this was probably the first game this year that I've showed that ability since the summer, so it was really fun. So.
Coach, we've talked to Bailey and you about it, just about how aggressive they are when it comes to taking charges. But I guess in scouting and when you're recruiting these girls, can you talk us through what you look for in a point guard that defines that for them?
Yeah, we definitely look for toughness. It's interesting because in the summer when we recruit, there's a lot of coaches that will not allow their kids to take charges so they won't get injured. And I get that to a point. But if you're a competitor, it just comes naturally. And I think that we talk from the get-go about kids and their toughness. And if they're not a charge taker when they get here, we work on it. We certainly work on it. But that was one of our goals today, was to take charges. And, we have a charge club, and Coach Walters is on them every day about who's in the charge club, who we're going to get new in the charge club. And I think that our newest member is Gemma, because I don't think she was in the charge club before. I don't see Jared out here to affirm my thoughts, but I think that's right. But love it. I mean, we absolutely love it. And they're game-changing plays. We talk about momentum a lot, and how can we continue to keep momentum on our side, because momentum can leave you in a hurry, and charge taking is one of those spots.
In the first half, Arkansas was attacking the basket pretty aggressively. Did you guys see that in scout prior?
Yeah, absolutely. And we actually were getting them to take the shots we wanted, because we knew that if we helped off in any form or fashion, that they could kick it and shoot the three. And I think it's hard for kids to allow like a lane line drive. And we weren't trying to allow a lane line drive, but if they got past us, we were trying to wall up on them and make them take tough twos. And I thought we did that really well. And therefore, we rebounded it, and it put us into our break. And so I thought our kids followed our game plan really well. And then we were able to step over and take some charges every once in a while as well.
And the Danae mentioned it about how Gemma was kind of quarterbacking the team a little bit, but I saw you also yelling at her sometimes on the court. Can you talk us through what your coaching was with her today?
Yeah, I mean, I felt that Gemma, first of all, Gemma wasn't feeling well this week. And so for her to play as many minutes as she did and everything, I think she took a lot of courage and a lot of fight, a lot of toughness. But I think Gemma's just going to get better and better at leading our team and being that quarterback on the court. There were certain actions that I wanted to see that I don't think Gemma was seeing yet. I felt like in the first half she was a little bit timid when she got downhill, and I think she missed a layup or two. I felt like she quit attacking, and we need her to attack, because she's so good when she attacks the basket, and not necessarily to score, but to find the open player. And in this game, we told her she was probably going to have to score. And so I felt like she was just a little bit hesitant. So I challenged her at halftime, and I thought that she responded really well, and she just started getting in the flow of the game in the second half. That three was huge that she hit, huge for her, and I love that she had the guts to take it.
Well, Coach, obviously the 93 team getting put in the Ring of Honor today. You've lost a couple teammates from that team. Just what can you say about those two players that?
Well, I know that they are smiling down upon us right now for sure, and they're so proud of Texas Tech for honoring this team. We reached out to both families, and Michelle's family got back to me, and they just couldn't make it down, but they were so honored to even be contacted. And then Noelle's brother and sister were sister-in-law were able to come, and that was fantastic too. And they were just such a huge part of that team, and that team was so tight. I mean, you can see, right? I mean, you can see that we haven't missed a beat. I mean, it's been a fantastic weekend. We just pick right back up where we left off and celebrate each other. And we always talk about them for sure, because it's a little bit shocking, to be honest, right? Because we're really not that old, and to have lost two members of our team is a little bit shocking. But we just love them so much, and their memory will live on forever as Lady Raiders, and super proud that we got to be honored this weekend.
Are you surprised at all that, the 93 team hadn't been in the Ring of Honor until now?
Yes, I am. No, I mean, it is what it is. I think it's interesting, right? I think when you talk about the Ring of Honor, I believe that every Ring of Honor we have, we're the first team to be inducted, right? So probably it took a little bit to say, oh, we could induct a team. It doesn't have to be a single member. And I think when they got to talking about Lady Raider basketball and, who could they induct, I think it just made sense for them to think about the team, because our team, we're the ones that, showed Texas Tech that we can be nationally known. And we brought that team ignited Lady Raider Nation, in my opinion, and really made women's basketball and across the state and region just explode. And so many great memories, so many great fans. And Coach Sharp is the leader of all of that. And for that team to be recognized, that's was the greatest thing that I could have seen happen, because our teammates deserve that. It was our team. I mean, obviously, we hate that Swoops wasn't here this weekend, and she's a huge part, clearly, huge part. That's what's made our team so great. We certainly know that. But she's had her accolades, and I'm probably the next one that's had the accolades. And for me, I just was like, man, I preach to my team every single day about that team and how unselfish they were and how much we all understood our roles. And if we can create that type of chemistry and trust amongst one another, we will have elite success. And I just think it was so appropriate that our team was inducted, because that team was the first national champions at Texas Tech. Certainly not the last, but the first ones for sure.
And you talked about that unselfishness, and Coach Sharp, when I asked her what was special about that team, she said the same thing, and that she is seeing that in this team. I guess my question to you would be, do you see that in this team early?
100%. I mean, to be honest, that's how I coach. That's what I learned, right? I mean, you can't get away from how you played and what you know as a coach. And I mean, I learned things from Coach Sharp, obviously, but I also learned things as a player. And I have always tried to coach chemistry, or to build chemistry, if you will, because we did a miraculous thing because we were so connected. And, you know, you hear Coach McCaslin talk about connectivity all the time, and he's so right. Like, teams that are connected can do really special things. And I think we have done a really good job as a staff to getting the right kids in that locker room, but also really working on keeping them connected and building relationships. And it's different nowadays with the transfer portal, because kids don't come in and you don't have 4 years to get them to be connected. I mean, when I played, that was a culmination, I believe, of 4 years of building that culture and that chemistry. Now you have a really small amount of time to be able to build that, and it's hard work. And I think you got to get the right kids, and I think we've done that. And I'm super excited about the direction that this team is going and how connected they are. And I think they have a lot of potential yet to be seen.
I guess on that same note, I asked them about their relationship. How have you seen that grow?
So super fun, right? I mean, we know, no doubt, when we brought Danae in, we were like, this will be interesting, right? But we love Danae's toughness. We obviously love Bailey's toughness. And I'll tell you what, they hit it off from the get-go, because they respect one another. You know, they respect toughness. They respect focus. They respect hard-nosed. They respect winning. And that's what both of them want, and they've been fantastic.
You mentioned with this game, the assist numbers, it seemed like y'all were ISOing people a lot in the first half. Did Arkansas adjust to that, especially with Jalen in the second half, or did y'all just go to some other things?
I think they saw a couple of spots that we ISO, and I think they did a good job of kind of negating that opportunity for us. But I just feel like we had other people getting in a groove. I felt like Jada Malone came in and gave us some much needed presence in the paint, and I think that helped. I think just finding the right player at the right time helped us as well. But I thought Snutta finally got in a little bit of a groove and made some really tough buckets. But I think that's the great thing about our team, is that if Jalen's struggling a little bit, which, I mean, she still had 11 and 7, so that's a good struggle. But if she's not, producing 20 and 10 or whatever, somebody else can pick up the slack. And today I feel like Jada Malone did that for us, and it was a good, gritty team win.
When it comes to Jada, do you feel like the team's starting to get more comfortable playing with her and vice versa?
For sure, yeah. I think they're trusting her more. I think it's hard. I think when you haven't played with a post player to give her a touch and to see that she's going to get it back. But our kids really understand that she's a really good passer, and she has a really high basketball IQ. Like, she understands the game at a high level. And then I love the fact that she always checks it off. She checks off her guards around her to see if there's any help, to see if there's any action that she needs to give it right back, because she understands inside out. But when the read's not there, like, she's doing a really good job of taking hers one-on-one and going and scoring.
and I think it's been talked about a lot, but with Emma's ability to lead the team offensively. But it seems like watching her, she's just really good on defense as far as like traps and things of that nature. Is that something y'all saw when you were recruiting her, or is she grown in that way since she's gotten here?
No, I think she's a phenomenal player. She's plays super hard, right? She has a high IQ. She's kind of everywhere, but she understands defense very well, and she doesn't understand anything but to play hard. And so I think that's probably 85% of defense is just playing hard.
So 5 games, 5 wins. We've established that there's a different level of chemistry within this group, confidence as well. I think you can tell. So seeing what you've seen now with this group, what more do you want? What different levels, I guess, or things off of a checklist do you want to see before Big 12 play?
Yeah, we need to see consistency for sure. That when if we jump out to a big lead, that we're able to sustain it, not to let people back in. I think our defensive principles have to continue to be important, and we got to be disciplined about it. I think you saw in the second half, we had some undisciplined actions that led to easy buckets for them, or missed player personnel where we gave up a 3 and we know that kid can shoot it. So just communication, continuing to rebound the basketball. I like to see that we won the rebounding battle today, but they still had too many second chance opportunities. And I just want to continue to see them grow where they can. And I tried to let them do that a little bit today. Like when things did get a little bit south, if you will, they responded and they tried to fix it themselves, or they would huddle, or they would get a stop, or execute an offensive action or something like that. But we need to be able to do that without me controlling that all the time, so that when it gets into heated moments, when it gets into maybe where we could be rattled a little bit, they keep their composure and they can control it themselves. So we still have a lot to work on. I think we can still get a lot better. But really pleased with where we are.
And Gemma, she's been talked about quite a bit. She's like a little firecracker. I swear, she's like on the floor. She's like hyping up her teammates. How have they responded as a whole to this kind of like quarterback role that she's stepping into the team?
They love her. They absolutely love her. And I think that speaks to her as a person, that she came in and she actually had a chance to go this summer and play for her national team that she played with last summer. And she called me and said, "Coach, I really need to come and practice with you guys this summer, because this has got to be my very best year." She said, "And I know how much you're depending on me," and the role that we sold her in the recruiting. And to me, that was huge, because she was here all summer long and got to go to Germany with us but didn't play. And so really did her due diligence of learning our system, of creating relationships with teammates. She leads by example because she works so hard, and she's always in the gym. Every off day, she's in the gym getting shots up, which I just think is huge. And she's just tough. And she knows how to communicate with her teammates in a demanding way that's respectful. And I think that's a really great trait of hers as well.
You mentioned the difference in having a 4-year-long relationship and then these year-by-year ones that you kind of have now. Did you and your staff go for any advice or counsel over the offseason to better understand this sports psychology in this new world?
Well, we've been doing that for the past couple of years. I think that our program is one of the best programs around that really takes a dive into sports psychology and to just building relationships. We give our kids some personality tests when they first get here. We talk about them with our sports psychologists, who we have a fantastic group of psychologists within the department. We meet about them as a staff to try to learn how to best coach them. We meet about each other as a staff to know how we can fit together. And it's been fantastic. And I would say that a lot of times in the recruiting piece of it, sometimes that's the first question they ask is, what do you do for mental health or sports psychology or, performance based? And we have an answer and we have a plan. And I think that's huge for us. And it does you do have to fast forward some relationship building, but I think our staff really buys into it, and our team understands that too in the recruiting process. Right. Thank you guys. Thank you.